this episode, and on this episode we're going to be talking about support and resistance. So I already taught you guys how to do support and resistance, but right here, this is US30. US30 chart is very bullish on the monthly time frame, on the weekly time frame is very strongly bullish. So I want to teach you guys how I plot levels on this chart. Alright. And I want you guys to write this thing down. We have our major key level and we have our minor key level and we have what I call scalping key level. Alright. And that is where our secret bank zones are going to be playing out. That is what we're going to be using it for, right? To enter trades in the range. So what I want you guys to do now is just write this thing down. So my analysis starts from the 4 hours. It starts from the 4 hours down to the, let me type this thing down. Start from the daily time frame. Down to the 4 hour time frame. So the next one is then our secret bank level is going to be plotted either on 15 minutes or the 30 minutes. But I'll recommend you use 30 minutes. Yes, 30 minutes. Down to 30 minutes. And our entries is going to be our 5 minutes down to 5 minutes or 1 minute. This is for US30, right? So this is my time frames here on US30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is what I use. That's all. That is it. Finish. So I want you guys to write this thing down. Take your time, jot this thing down, and that is it. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the chart. Let me show you the examples, how I really do this thing every day, and how you can do it easily. So let's go to the daily charts. This is the daily chart here. Taking a look at the monthly, let me show you guys something, or the weekly. You see that US30 has been very bullish from 2009. 2009, I think 2000. This is around 2007. Okay, let's still go. Let's see this. Let's see the ending of this. Yes, 2004, 2003, 2004. It has been moving all the way to the upside. You can see it yourself. Just like retracing back, continue, retrace, continue, retrace, continue. That is what it has been doing. And it just retraced again here. Tested where this level here, this support level around this region. This is where it's tested. Came here, tested on it, and it's going all the way to the upside again, right? So I don't come to the weekly to analyze anything, or if you want to come to the weekly, you can just come to the weekly and and take a look at the weekly candle and see what it's doing, right? So right now I'm going to go to the daily time frame. As I said earlier, I want to see what is happening on the daily. I want to see this. So on the daily, you see that US30 is currently dropping after it tapped into this area. You can see there's a resistance zone here. It tapped into this area and is retracing back down. Where do you think is likely to reverse back to the upside? Nobody knows about that. Nobody knows at all. We don't know because it has broken this support here, going to the downside. So where is it heading to the next support? All right. So for now, we are very, very bearish. We are very, very, very bearish. So now the next thing we're going to do is, if you are drawing trend line, you can get your trend line drawn from this area. And take a look at this, guys. This is a trend line breakout. Take a look at this trend line break to the downside on the daily time frame. So we might expect, you should be expecting more drop to the downside. You should be expecting that. And if you have another one running here, if you have another, I think, yes, another trend line running here. But I don't really use trend line like that. So I'm just showing you this in case if you want to be using your trend line to add to your confluence. So you can use this, but I don't really use it. I only use support and resistance. That's all. So let's go to the 4-hour. So on the 4-hour, we see what US30 is doing right now. It's still dropping to the downside. Still dropping, right? So let's go back to the daily. So on this daily time frame, I want to mark out my major key level or major support and resistance zones. That's what I want to do here. And let me show you guys this. So try to view the chart, try to view every part of this chart to really help you to, take a look at everything that has been happening. You can see that around here, where is our key levels? Let's check that. You can use line chart if you want, but I use these steps here in case if I'm not able to locate any of the levels. So I just use this. And you don't want to make your zones wide. Make it very tight. Make it very tight. Even this is still wide. You can see how tiny mine is. So this is what you want to do. This is what you want. This is our first zone here. You can see that the market is respecting them. And the second one, where is it? Clone this. And you have to be cloning the rest of them. Don't plot a new level. Clone the rest of them. So you can see the way I'm moving it about. Okay, trying to make it look nice. Even this, there is another one around this point. Yeah, around this region. There is support, sorry, there's a level here. I'm trying to figure that out. So don't force levels if you don't see them. That's one thing again, don't force levels. You see the way everything is tight. So where do you think it's heading to this one here? So that's where it's heading to for me. But let's take a look at the candlestick chart and see whether if our zones are actually right. You can see them here. Our zones are perfectly drawn. Tested, 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 tested. Everything is okay. Tested, 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 breakthrough, tested, pushed up, tested, 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 tested. So you see that our zone is nice. I like seeing this. So our minor levels now is the next thing we're going to be doing. There is no need to be plotting this down here since the market is not trading around this zone. So let's just mind our business, right? So let's go to the 4-hour. You can see that on the 4 hours that these zones are getting wider. Do you see this? So this is why you have to make it as tight as possible. And these major key levels, you don't want to be playing with it once the market gets to it or breaks through it. So inside this 4 hour, we're going to be drawing our minor key levels from here. So I think we have one here. We're going to still move back, but here I'm going to update it. Let me just move all the way to the back side. So take a look at this level. Taking a look at it, let's go backwards as I said. So around here, is there any level here, any minor level here? There is one. Change the color of this box right now. Don't have, just have only maximum of two in between these levels. Don't have more than two. If you have more than two on the 4 hours, it's going to be very, very messy. Trust me. More than two, so that you can catch big moves. Big and smooth moves to the downside or to the upside. Anywhere it comes, you can easily snipe it. So let's change the color to blue. You can see our 4-hour level. Make it very not too tight, but at least just make it a little bit tight, you know. So this is it. I'm still trying to refine it. You can see how hard it can be sometimes to refine these levels. So you can see how hard it can be. You can see it yourself. Tested here, tested here. Okay, now we have to clone them. Clone. So let's look for the next level. Do we have any here? I think we have one here. And we move to the upside. Let's just move back to the present time. Let's see more in the market. I don't think there's much again happening there, so let's just go straight down to the hour 30 minutes. So on this 30 minutes is where the scalping comes in, where you can easily take trades from. And this is where our secret bank levels plays in. This is where it plays in, and we're going to be taking advantage of that here. Right. So you can see that we have our major key level here and we have our minor key levels here. And take a look at this. Let's go to the 4 hours chart because we don't even check it on the candlestick before moving to the next one. Sorry, to the next time frame. So you can see that this area are not being respected again. The market is breaking, violating them. So adjust this here to this area. Let this come here. You can see it. It's better there. And clone it. Then come here. We have one here. We have one around this area. Yes, nice. So you can see that we have one here, tested. There is too much rejections on this area. There's too much rejection. And this daily zone, you can as well, don't adjust, just leave it the way it is. Leave it, make it simple, leave it the way it is, simple. And we have it, there we have it. There we have it, and we have another level here. Scroll back and let's see. We don't really have anything going on in between this level because the market is right trading there and we don't have anything going on, any zones, any relevant zones. So we're not going to force it. Let's go to the 30 minutes this time. So on the 30 minutes, we're going to be having different key level again. And this is where your session will play in. Your session. Look for highs and lows that was formed during your New York session. Right, as I said, under New York secret time zones, and try to form it as a support levels, and this is the way it goes. So when trading now, you see that once the market is trading in between any of this range, this is your major trading strategy here. This is where you're meant to focus more on. Whenever market comes to this zone, you should be more interested in buying or selling from any of these two major levels, right? So this one here is, let's say the way the market is trading out, let it be trading in between. If you want to jump into this trade, there's just one way I can suggest you should enter trade once the market is already trading past your zones or your point of interest. So this is it here. I advise you to come. This low was formed here, this high was formed here, and let's try to make something here. This high was formed here, right? Come backwards. You can see it here, and this high again was formed. You can always go down to the lower time frame to refine them, but this is what I suggest for you. This low was formed when New York. So when you are buying and selling, you should be looking backwards. If you are buying here, you should be taking your first profits here. If you are buying here, take your first profits here, because there is a zone, there is a secret bank level around this point. There is a secret bank level around this point, and you don't want to fall into it because the market respects it very, very well. And as you can see what's happened here, the market tested it, pushed down, tested it, pushed up, broke it, tested it, tested it, tested it. It kept testing these areas. Okay, now you can see that the markets break above this level, and this your secret bank. This your secret bank levels. You are going to change the color. You are going to change the color so that you will be able to identify it whenever you see it. So you can see that these markets break above, tested where secret bank level, pushed up. And don't forget, this is the 30 minutes time frame. This is the 30 minutes time frame. This is not our entry yet. This is not our entry. You can see this pushed up, tested, pushed a little bit, break below it, tested it, still came to this area, tested where our next bank level. This was the bank level here. Tested it. This one again, the one that happened recently, tested it. Push down, push down, push down, push down, just like that. You can see what this secret bank level can help you to do. It can help you to enter trades in a range, in between this. Once the market has left you, you can easily jump into those trades once you have your secret bank levels plotted from the previous weeks or the previous last 2 weeks. You can just, I don't know how to tell you that, but like, start from, let's say Monday comes now, the last week that just passed, the week that just passed, you draw your make sure your key levels, your major and your minor key levels are plotted. Then when scalping, once the market has left your zone, you plot what? You plot your secret bank levels to enter trades from there. And here it is. Let's go to the 5 minutes time frame and let's see the way the market moves whenever it comes to this zone. You can see that this is our major key zone here, our major levels here, which is the one that comes from the 4 hours, from the daily time frame. We're not really going to be, buying here or selling here until we see a breakout to the one of the sides. But and also trade along with market structure. Don't just enter. If you enter this buy, see that the market has been trending all the way to the downside and you are buying from this point, this could have been a loss. So you should trade carefully. Don't just trade blindly like that. So you can see, came to the zone, tested, break below. I'm just trying to see where the market is respecting the key level. You can see it yourself here. You can see this one, break below, tested, push down, tested. All of these things, they are rejection on the 30 minutes. So don't just fall victim of this. Always check. Once you see something breaking above here, don't use the 5 minutes to confirm it. You can use the 30 minutes, the 1 hour to confirm a breakout to the upside. Don't use this as a breakout to the upside. You are going to fall because this is a rejection. So it has not broken out yet. Rejected off, sold off, tested this area, pushed up, tested again during 10:05, then still pushed up. All of these levels are the things you want to be plotting on your chart. You can see the way the market left us here, came here, broke below, tested, pushed down. How many points was that? Take a look at this. This was 94 pips, 98 pips from there. 98 points. Points. I used to make mistake with that. You can see our levels are being respected. Saying you can see the market break above, tested, came back, rejected off, pushed all the way to the upside. So you can see that first of all, take a look at this point. The market left us during the Asian session. Then during New York, rejected off, came here, tested, break above, still came back to retest it, pushed all the way to the upside. You can see this 287 points, close to 300 points. The same thing happens here. You can see it yourself. This, don't take this fake out. Confirm it with the 30 minutes or the 1 hour, because this is rejecting this entire move here. They are rejections. They are rejections. This move right here, they are rejections. Just one rejection or two rejection candle can be like this on the 1 hour. So don't fall victim of this. So you can see rejected off during the Asian session. The same thing keep happening. You can see it yourself here. So you can see it left us here. The next day you can see your secret bank level. Once it breaks above, you can enter. Once you see a very nice entry from there, you can see this one as well. Came, trade below, tested, trade below. You can see it, guys. This is just very simple. Very simple to identify. Very simple. So guys, this is the end of this particular video. The next one is going to be your entry model. Your entry model. How can you enter a trade when trading like this? How can you enter a trade? So when trading US30, you should be very smart and be very, like, try to read the market as much as you can. Try to, derive bias with what you're looking, with what you're seeing and everything, stuff like that. So on the 1 minute chart is going to be our entry time frames. And I have my moving averages here. That is where I used to enter earlier. With these two moving averages here, one is 10, one is 23. 10 and 23 exponential moving average. Use 10 and 23 exponential moving average. Don't just go and use your own. I know what I'm saying. It's calculated already. There's a way I calculate it. Everything is set. It moves faster than the chart. So come here. Just come here on your indicator settings here. You can see the name here. Just come to my, not scripts, technicals. Type moving average. Moving average. You can see them, moving average exponential. Start it, make it your favorite. Then once you make it your favorite, you want to come to settings here. You're going to add two of them. So come to input. This is length 10. Leave the rest of them here. Change this one here to EMA, not SMA. Then you click on OK. Then you come here, change the second one 23, close 0. Change it towards method is going to be EMA because it's going to be on SMA. Change it to EMA. Then that is it, and you have it set. So how do I enter trade with this? It's just very simple. You can see the way the trades. I am still going to, okay, let me go to the 1 minute. So on the 1 minute chart is, I wait for it to come to my zone. Although this indicator is not quite set up like that, but with this, you should be good. With this, you should be very good with your entries. So I wait for the markets to come to my zone. And you can take a look at this. I want it to, once it taps into my zone, confirm it on the 15 minutes. You want to see a crossover like this. Then once it crosses over, you can now sell. Put your stop loss 50 points. 50 points from this area. 50 points. Then it targets 100. Just forget about the ranges and everything that happened there. Just hold. And if this thing keep repeating itself, if you have more money to risk, you can add more entries here. Once you start trading below here, add more and more entries. This is it here. Break below, came to test it. You can add one more here. It targets minimum of 2. You can add here, but at this point it was not trading below our this thing. This one is going to be risky because it wasn't trading below our zone. And here is another one. This one should have stopped you out on 50 points. If you entered from this point, it should have stopped you out on 50 points. So sometimes you need to wait for it to start trading below, then use that moving averages to enter. So let's make 2 more examples. So I'm still checking for where my levels is. And you can see these minor levels here. You see that there was going to be a cross above, but it did not happen. That's why I said that you should always focus on what you're dealing with. Try to read the market as much as possible, right? You see that it almost crossed, but it did not cross. See what happened? Started trading below, you enter your sell. Because it has already crossed here, you enter a sell, you risk 50 points, maximum of 50 points. And don't use tight stop losses on US30. You're always going to get stopped out because US30 is very, very volatile, or is very, very fast. So with these entries, it should be good. Just always wait for it to come to your zone. Let it start trading below your zone after the crossover. After the crossover, you see what happened here? Came here, tested. On this crossover, the next candle, you should be entering your trade from here. Then your stop loss 50 points, right? So, and once your trade is running 20 pips, 20 points, take 50% off, right? You can put it 30 points, take 50% of your trades, your profits off, right? I'm just giving, this is what I do, right? I don't want you to come back to me, to my entry and take me out or something, then break even. Or sometimes you break even once it's running 20 pips or 30 pips, you break even. So that's how US30 is. And this one right here, see that it crossed over, but are we in a sell direction? That is one thing you need to be looking out for. Don't just go and enter any trade anyhow. Don't just go and do it. And sometimes you should be creative. Once you see some trend line forming, you add it to your confluence. To make better trades, you add it to your confluence. You can see it right here. This should have been a very nice setup, break below. And the whole thing aligned with the trend line. So all of these things are like your entry. This is what you need. This is what you need. The main entry level. This is what you need. You can see it started buying above. But this is Asian session. The white areas, they are Asian session. So we are not interested on it. We are not interested in trading during the Asian session. But you can actually do it if you like. See this one tested, started selling below. This is not nice because it's even close to the Asian session. But even if you entered, it should have not stopped you out. You should have still been in profit still. And see this one here. You can see this one that happened here. Can you see that? So you see that it crossed over, come to this level, and this is your stop loss. Target the next level. So with this, you can be getting higher win rate, higher targets. You can see that it's working. This is where I enter trades on US30, and I just find out this strategy works very, very well. It works very, very well if you use it the right way. It helps you to enter early trades. You can see this one here, break below, crossed over. What happened next? You can see this. Just sometimes be creative, as I said. So you can see this break below. What happened next? Came to 10,000, still crossed over here. you enter from this level. Just enter on a crossover, as you can see there. And guys, just take a look. All of these levels, they are being obeyed, they are being respected, right? So with this cross, you can make your entries earlier than you using rejection candle. You just want to advise, I will tell you. And this is all about this video. This is all about this strategy, or this entry key levels, or the entry types, the way you can enter your trade. I don't want to like make this video long because it's already long. I don't want it to make it longer than this. So guys, see you on the next one.